Let's discuss how you can start generating leads for your business on Instagram in 2020. And if you stick till the end, I'll give you a free cheat sheet that you can go and plug and play so you can do it on your own. What's going on, everybody? Justin Saunders here, and in this video I'm going to share with you a couple strategies and secrets that you can go out there and start implementing right away so you can start getting a big fat pipeline strictly from Instagram. Now, before we jump into these strategies, it's important to understand really how to do this the right way. So before we even jump into the actionable steps, you need to understand a couple things. The first thing you need to understand is exactly what a touch point is. A lot of people get this confused, and it's very basic, it's very simple. A touch point is simply when you go out there and you get some sort of message in front of a potential client, a prospect, if you will. Now, the reason touch points are so important is because most of the time when you don't have a big enough pipeline, it's because you don't have a lot of touch points. I see this a lot of times with clients I work with one-on-one. Most of the time, they just don't have a big enough pipeline and they're confused and worried about not having enough sales. So simple strategy, simple answer for you. If you don't have enough sales or enough meetings set, you simply don't have enough touch points. So make sure you're getting enough touch points every single day. Now, the next thing you need to know is that you need to be consistently tracking your numbers. You need to have some sort of metric that you can go out there and see how many touch points you're getting every day, how many meetings you're getting set, how many prospects are in the pipeline. You need to have something like this where you can go out there and keep track of this every time, because ultimately when you go to scale, if you don't have your numbers tracked, you can't scale the right way. And if you don't have a tracking sheet, don't worry, I got you covered. Just go click the link down below and you can go get that free tracking sheet. It's going to be huge. It'll help you scale the right way and ultimately see where you're putting a lot of your time, your energy, and your effort and making sure that you're getting the most out of it. All right, so let's jump into the 4 steps that you need to implement to start generating leads on Instagram. Now, very quickly, before we jump into this, if you're somebody that can't sit and stay focused for more than 5 minutes, you should probably leave this video and then go scroll on Facebook and look up cat memes or whatever you do in your spare time. But if you are watching this and you're probably not like that, kudos to you, so let's jump into it. So step number 1 is to create a new profile and optimize it. Now, there's a couple reasons you want to create a new profile compared to your old profile. Reason number 1 being that if your profile that you are doing prospecting on gets shut down, you don't want it to be your main profile, because the cool thing with Instagram is you can keep creating new and new profiles the more and more you want to do this. So it's one of those things where once you get this down, and I'm going to share with you the steps in here, you can go out there and scale this to as many profiles as you want. So stick with me and make sure that you're paying attention. So again, first thing, make sure that you have a different profile. I can't stress that enough. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to optimize this profile to make it speak to your potential customers. So let's say, for example, you're in the dentist space, right? Well, you'll want your profile to be speaking to dentists. You'll want your pictures to be speaking to dentists. You'll want it so if a dentist lands on your page, they know exactly who you are and what you do. I always like to add some sort of social proof in there, something that is maybe like in the stories or even just in the post that lets the dentist know that when they're landing on your page that you're legit. You know, testimonials, a video recording of what you're talking about, anything like that that can let the dentist know or the potential client know that you are a legit business owner and that you can help them out. It will get you an A in their bucket. So with that being said, I want you to really think about it like this. When you're optimizing your Instagram, your new profile, it's like a funnel, right? When you go out there, and I'm going to explain the prospecting methods behind this in a second, but when you go out there and you have these clients landing on your page, you need to optimize it so they will either book a call with you, click to learn more, or send a message or something in that sort of nature that will funnel them down into getting on a meeting booked with you. So one thing that you can do right away that I highly recommend is that you have some sort of link in your bio where they can go and either book a call or learn more about you. Ideally, it's going to be a call to action where they can take an action and actually book a call with you. And another little bonus tip for you when you're optimizing your profile is if you have a profile already, your main profile that is pretty good, optimized, meaning that it's not just pictures of you out there like partying or doing some stuff that doesn't even matter. If it's something where you have like a lot of followers or something where you want to kind of showcase your original profile, I would suggest that you put a link in there saying that you are the founder. That way it builds credibility and social proof so they can go out there and check out your profile to see who you really are and do a little bit more research on you. And step number 2, which is the fun stuff, which comes down to generating leads. Now, lead generation on Instagram is very simple, and there's a couple of simple strategies that you can go to do this. The number one and the easiest way is you go to the hashtags and you hashtag search something in your industry. So for example, if you're in the dentist industry, you would go into the hashtags and hashtag dentist, hashtag dentist smile, hashtag smile, hashtag, do a little bit of research on this. I highly recommend that you go out there and you spend, 30 minutes to an hour and just start writing down on a big list of paper all kinds of different hashtags that you can be using in this industry and then going in there and prospecting them. And the next 2 ways are very similar. You can go to Fiverr and pay someone to data scrape a bunch of dentists for you on Instagram. It's fairly inexpensive too. You should be able to get a very big list depending on how big your industry is for less than $100. If they're trying to charge more, negotiate with them. All these people are freelancers and you can usually negotiate pretty good pricing terms with them as well. So Fiverr is a good one. And then you can also just data scrape lists from like LinkedIn, Google, Yellow Pages, whatever data pooling softwares you have out there. That's another good way to do this. But when it comes down to it, the simple, most effective way is either going to the hashtags, because these are people that are posting consistently, they're newer, or just going to buy a list on Fiverr. Step 3, which is the process. Now that you have the profile optimized, you know how to get your touch point there. How do you do it? So inside this step, the process, we're gonna break it down for you. So the first thing you do underneath the process is you're going to go to this prospect's Facebook or Instagram page and like 3 to 5 of their photos. This way it's going to alert them that you're out there and, all of a sudden they get a notification saying Justin Saunders like 3 of your photos. Well, first they're gonna get a little alerted and be like, okay, well, let me go see who this guy is. And the next thing you're gonna do after you go and like a couple of their photos is you're gonna send them a message. Now, I would just give you a message right here to paste, but last time I did that, it got a little saturated in the market and everybody started posting the same message. I did a lesson on Facebook prospecting, and last time I did that, it was funny because a lot of people started sending the same message, and I actually got the same message. And it was even funnier because some of my clients reached out to me saying, I think somebody's copying you. Which, again, I'm not mad, but I'm just saying, for the sake of oversaturating the same message and wasting each other's time, get creative with your own message. I'm sure if you're in the lead gen space, you probably have some sort of messaging that you use on other platforms. Highly encourage you to use that. Now, more importantly, test it, split test it. As a marketer, all we need to know is that we always need to be consistently split testing. Split testing isn't really a word, but we'll make it a word now. So you need to be consistently split testing. The last step in the process after you've liked a couple of their photos and sent them a message is to simply just comment on their photo. Now, you can say anything in the world you want, but it's something that you want to kind of spark curiosity with. Something simple could be like, awesome content, love what you're doing here, check your messages, would like to connect. That way, it's going to let the business owner, whoever you're prospecting, to know that you're there and that you like their information, that you actually went through and took time to like stuff on their page, and you can actually relate to it. And the golden nug with all this is just be relatable. If you're going to be like a robot with everybody on here, you're going to get robot results. So remember that when you're prospecting, when you're sending messages, when you're commenting, the more personal you can be, the better it'll be. Now, step 4, which is kind of a little bonus for you guys on here, is to outsource this. If you value your time like I do, make it so you can go out there, you can hire a VA, you can hire some sort of freelancer online to go out there and send copy and paste messages for you. Now, again, kind of like what we were just talking about earlier, you want to make sure that you get the personability down first, right? So meaning like if you're going to go out there and just send robotic messages to each single person, well, people are going to start catching on. So there's a couple ways you can do about this. One, I'd say start it by yourself, figure out what works in your industry first. And then 2, have like 5 different scripts and messages that you can split test to see. And once you split test those, and if you're tracking your numbers the right way, then you're gonna get some good results. And last thing I'll leave you with is just remember, split test. It's important to track your data so you can make accurate decisions based on numbers and not emotions. Especially with everything that's going on in the world right now, you need to be on top of your shit, and the best way to do that is by having accurate numbers. That's it for this video. If you liked it, make sure to give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below. And also, don't forget to get your free copies of the cheat sheet and the tracker down below. I'll make sure that you get hooked up with that. And also, if you have any questions or concerns or how to do anything the right way when it comes to Instagram prospecting, let me know down in the comments. I reply to everything. And with that being said, I'll see you guys later.